Myth 3. Financial freedom means paying off the mortgage. What complete middle-class BS. It seems we've built a system where everyone is trying their hardest to pay off their mortgage loans and be financially free. But that's not financial freedom. In fact, the most effective way to find financial freedom isn't to be debt-free, but to know how to use debt to your advantage. Let me explain. Financial freedom means if I decide to never work again, I won't need to worry about paying the bills. Sure, I might not be able to afford that 250-foot yacht, but everything else is taken care of. That's what freedom is. As I'll explain in this ebook, financial freedom often means taking on debt, good debt. Good debt means someone else is paying for it and you're making a profit. Owning real estate is a good example of this. Bad debt, by contrast, is the debt you have to pay interest on. Examples include borrowing money to buy a car, extending your house, or going to university even. This is debt that you have to pay off, that's growing every day and isn't working for you. So to clarify, good debt is money you borrow that someone else is paying the interest on. Bad debt is money you borrow that you pay the interest on. Good debt creates financial freedom. Bad debt creates financial slavery. Unfortunately, the standard middle-class narrative of success promotes bad debt. Rather than grow a real estate portfolio, for example, we are encouraged to extend our houses or buy new cars. If you borrow money to buy a car, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot. Financially speaking, an idiot. You're a good guy, really, because you're reading this book. Wait, I'm a hypocrite. I did that once too. I'm an idiot. Many years ago, I was an idiot. Like most young kids, I wanted a car to impress others and show them I was successful, going places. So I borrowed money to buy a BMW. I drove that BMW over a rock once. It was dark and in a rocky place, so don't ask. And it nearly wrecked the car. It was a sign to give up, but I didn't. A year later, a bus sideswiped that car and wrecked it again. But I used insurance money to buy a better car. Why? Because that's what you do when you're middle class, boring, and affluent. If you want to escape that world, you have to change the people you hang around with. See my point later about mentors and your peer group. But back to the car. Not only was that BMW losing value every day, the loan was increasing in size because of interest. That's the trap they want us to fall into. Most people end up working 4 to 6 months of their year to buy a car to drive to work in. Why? So they can afford to buy a car to drive to work in. That's fucked up. Financial freedom means making money while you sleep. This is passive income. Let's say you go travel the world for 6 months. How will your finances look at the end of it? A lot of people who talk about backpacking around the world aren't financially free. They're working online or living in cheap countries so they can afford the bills. It's a step in the right direction, but it's not freedom. When you're surrounded by a lot of other people earning, say, $500 a month, you think $500 is okay, but it can also be a trap. Living on coconut dollars may be fun for a couple of years, but then what? What happens when you get bored of Southeast Asia? Paying off the mortgage isn't financial freedom. It's a phony middle-class dream that keeps people tied to their boring, salaried jobs for 40 years. Only when they hit 55, the kids have fled the nest, their salaries are high enough and they've made 25 years of mortgage repayments, can they start enjoying a loan-free life, if they're lucky. Don't buy into the BS about paying off your mortgage. Why wait until you're 55? That made sense for your parents' generation, but today understand that freedom comes from taking and using risk, not removing it from your life. Increase good debt, reduce bad debt. If you can take small steps every day in this direction, you too can become financially free.